Well, the Everest story is always magical in a sense, but it's also exceptionally dangerous. It's all about risks. It's all about physical triumph, stamina. And joining us now, a very, very special panel. We don't have people as accomplished as this on any other day. With me in the studio, somebody who has summited Everest twice in the course of 1 year. Santosh Yadav, thank you very much for being with us. To her left, Colonel Narendra Kumar. He laid the first military post on the Siachen Glacier. He's not summited Everest, but he's widely considered to be among the finest climbers that India has produced. Captain Deepika Rathore of the Indian Army. She summited Mount Everest last year, in May last year. She's with us as well. And in just a few moments from now, we'll be joined by a teenager, a 16-year-old, Prithvi Chahal of Sanar School, who's in Kathmandu at the moment after coming down from Everest after having successfully summited it. Thank you all very much for joining us. Captain, let me come to you first. At one level, there is nothing that can really train you for summiting something as high as Everest. You can be physically very fit and physically very strong, but ultimately, what is that extra something that carries you to the top?
According to me, the extra something is with your physical strength, is your mental strength. Because climbing Everest, it's not what actually required is the physical strength as well as the mental strength. Because your physical strength is required for a aim which is actually very difficult, which is actually very demanding. When you are physically tired, that time your mind should take on and your mind should tell you ki now this is the time you have to prove yourself, you have to fulfill your dream. So for me, it's physically and mentally strength both.
You know, when you're on the Hillary step or say on the South Col, which is lower, and you have it on your sights, there is still in some cases, at least in the past, more than a 50% chance that you still would not be able to summit because of weather, because of all sorts of factors. Isn't that perhaps the toughest part of it, knowing that you've gotten so far, but that you may not be able to go up?
It depends what exactly you are approaching with mission is. For me, I'm trying, if I don't reach on top, fine. For a moment, okay, I can feel, but I don't think I will feel that, oh, I'm not able to climb, why? So I don't make much fuss about it, because my aim was to see the Himalayas. I wanted to be in the Himalayas. I just wanted to have an experience of that. For me, really, to reach on top of Everest was not very this thing, but reaching on top of Everest is another difficult and very beautiful feeling. That's true. But for me, both the time, okay. Whether I climb Everest on top, reaching, or
well, you did it twice in the course of 1 year, which is absolutely remarkable.
Remarkable, in fact, of course, for people, but for me, it's a surprise for today also.
You didn't expect to do it?
No, never. Because I'm from plain. I never seen mountains before, actually, in '86. And I just approached the Himalayas, not become a mountaineer, just to see the mountains. So I was content always. If I reached base camp, I used to be very happy. Oh, good, I've reached. I think that was my strength, in fact, I felt.
Well, Colonel Kumar hasn't made Everest, and I'm sure that he regrets that deeply. But his story is one of enormous success in being the first man to lay control of various posts on the Siachen Glacier. He's also somebody who suffered a great deal physically. You've had your toes amputated.
Yeah.
4 of them, right?
Correct.
Because you were in a crevasse for how many days?
1 year.
In a crevasse for?
In crevasse for 4 days.
For 4 days.
In a hospital for 1 year.
In a hospital for 1 year.
Yeah.
What are some of the risks that people going up to the very highest altitudes still continue to face?
Well, firstly, let me correct you that I was member of 1960 Everest summit team. I missed it by 700 feet. And when I was deputy leader of 1965, we made a record. I put 9 people on the top. So it was actually mainly a logistical mountain. And nowadays logistics are very easy. Now in the ice fall, with somebody just making a film, doctors of ice, These are Sherpas who make through the ice fall. Now, we used to stock up first. We used to call it ferrying, up and down. And now when you go there, camp 1, camp 2, camp 3, you can buy a bottle of oxygen. It depends on how many dollars you pay. And the more dollars you pay, lighter oxygen you get. So similarly, when Edmund Hillary and Tenzing got over that Hillary step, it is called Hillary step because you are the first one to get to the top. And Tenzing, he got the Tenzing up there. Now there are 3 ropes up there. You can just put your Jumar there, your carabiner, and you can just go up. I mean, technically it's become very easy, but the risk is still there. The blizzards are still there. Rarefied air is still there. Accidents can still happen.
In 97, there were 8 people who died in the course of 24 hours. And then technology has improved so much since when you had tried to summit Everest. So the risks are completely, are very common. This year, 12 people have lost their lives. In the course, 6 people have lost their lives in the course of the last 1 month approximately, and 12 in the course of the last 2 years. But joining us now from Kathmandu, Prithvi Chahal, member of the youngest team to scale Mount Everest, the Lawrence School Sanar. Congratulations, Prithvi, for this remarkable achievement. How difficult was it for you? Because there is often a rush to get to the top, and this year there were hundreds of climbers who were trying to get up there. And at the very highest point on the Hillary step, there would have been an absolute traffic jam of sorts. How difficult was it for you to navigate that?
Well, for me, and it wasn't that difficult because I was one of the first few climbers who summited that day. And it was only difficult while coming down. And at the Hillary step, there wasn't much traffic even at that time. So I wasn't stuck in the traffic.
Prithvi, we are actually seeing your pictures that you sent up earlier on with your fellow schoolmates. How did your parents actually allow you to do this? Because of the risks are incredible. Did you actually have to persuade them a great deal? Because a lot of people would say that it's putting young people like you very much in the face of danger.
In life, I believe that you have to take risks, and I did. My father did. Parents did. They had faith in me, and that's how it is supposed to be. Unless you don't go out and do something which people usually don't, you don't get up there. You have to do something great in life. To do something great in life, you have to take risks.
What was the toughest part of the entire expedition? Was it the ascent, or was it actually coming down which was tougher? Because people don't talk about the descent, which is often very difficult by itself.
It is. Believe me, it is coming down, which is the tough part. Because by then you're exhausted. You spent all your energy going up, and then coming down, it's even more dangerous. 75% of the accidents which happen on mountains happen while coming down. So it is the more difficult part, coming down.
Prithvi, how much did you have to train to actually, and your schoolmates, how much did you actually have to train to be physically strong enough to get there? And physical strength is just the visa to enter the Everest range. The rest is entirely up to you and your mental strength. But how much did you have to physically train?
Physically, we trained a lot. Our training started in September last year, basic and advanced course. We did a basic and advanced courses, and then where we really trained hard, technically, physically, and then since then I've been, in the morning I used to run 8 to 12 kilometers, and then in the evening I did 2.5 hours of gym, and we went for cycling in Rajasthan also, where we did 1,000 kilometers of cycling in 9 days, and averaging on 100 kilometers every day.
That's absolutely that's unthinkable for most of us watching this program or being part of this program, Prithvi. But Captain, I wanted to come to you first. Can you just describe to us how difficult it is to breathe, even with oxygen, right up on the top? How difficult is it to actually push your body to make that final assault to the top?
Firstly, I would like to tell one thing here, that climbing with using supplemental oxygen, and that too in such a altitude, it is actually very difficult. First of all, your body is not used to of supplemental oxygen, then you are walking and you are using that mask is there on your face, you are sometimes you are feeling so suffocated that you want to remove that, but you cannot do that. So it is actually very difficult to climb with the oxygen cylinder and the mask on your face. So for me, yes, initial days was very difficult, like when I started using oxygen camp 3 onwards, and from South Call it became more difficult. So it is actually difficult. Your body takes some time to get into that mode, that yes, you have to climb now with the supplemental oxygen along with the mask on your face. So it was actually very difficult.
Santoshi, last word to you.
Using oxygen, as of course we used to feel that we are in a 5-star hotel. Like it's really help, frankly speaking, because as Deepika ji used from camp 3, much lower altitude, I started using after camp 4 even, like when we were approaching just Everest on top.
At what altitude would that be, camp 4?
Camp 4 was 26,000 feet, but after that even around 26 plus.
But it makes a difference, it can potentially save your
but
life.
For me it was not difficult. I was easily in fact adjust to it,
well,
and rather we used to feel more fresh, okay, and it was, we were getting, I was not getting suffocated at all.
Right.
Not at all.
Well, I'd like to thank all of you for joining us this evening. It's been 60 years since the assault, the first successful summiting of Mount Everest with Norgay and Edmund Hillary. It remains, some would say, very much the holy grail of mountaineering, but it's so much easier today than it once was. If you have the bucks, you can get up there, but as Prithvi Chahal was describing, it's not easy at all, and it comes with its share of incredible risks. You've been watching The Buck Stops here. It's time now for a short break.